big stretch. Big stretch. Okay. Oh, man. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the art stream. So, we're going to kind of get into it. It's been a while since we've done this. For those of you that just joined us, my name is Sam. And we're going to continue on part 3 of the Warrior Commission illustration that I've been working on based on Final Fantasy XIV. Hopefully some of you guys have seen the Jack and Daxter one that we did last time. That was a lot of fun. Thank you, Blewett, for cheering. And now that that's finished, we're going to move on to the next thing. I don't know why the coin jar is so full. I think it was me messing with like other things before the stream started, so it looks like it's way fuller than it should be. But I still appreciate it, even though the Corgo bounced out. More of them are going to bounce out now. No, the Corgos! 2 of them made it in. 2 lost Corgos and 1 that's been survived. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, hey, Advati. How's it going? Hey, Drunk Ducky. Oh, yeah, man. It's been a super while. It isn't the first time I've streamed art, but maybe it's the first time you've caught it. We've actually done 3 other art streams so far, Drunk Ducky. Glad you could join us, though. I know it's hard with your time, with the time zone that you're in. Is there also last bit snow Corgos for you? Maybe later in the future, Boo Lip. And I appreciate that a lot, Drunk Ducky. I work really hard at my craft. It takes a lot of work, but it's fun no matter what. So this piece is still coming along. It's still so far away. But there are 3 videos now on the channel, Drunk Ducky. There's 2 for this, and then there is 1 other art stream for the Jack and Daxter one I did, which is like 4 hours long. Ooh, your game's coming along pretty good, Advati. I'd like to see that at some point. I'm actually working on some with my brother too. When I can, I know I've mentioned it a bunch of times. When I get the chance, when it's in a more presentable state, I promise I'm going to show more of that stuff off. It's going to be fun. Yeah. You know, honestly, I don't really know where to start with this one yet. I guess I'll figure it out. I'm not really sure. It's been a while since we've worked on this. I'm used to having a flow when it comes to these type of pieces and knowing what to do. But honestly, it's been a hot minute since I worked on this one, which can be kind of a benefit too, because that means I have to wait a while before tackling into it again. So that's kind of a benefit in itself, you know, stepping back, feeling it out, and just seeing where I want to take the piece. Ew, not that though, not that. Let's go ahead and make this a separate layer. Ooh, got the player character down, all the managed animations are in. Now it's time for the boss fight. Wow, that's a lot of work, dude. Congrats. That stuff takes a long time to kind of fit in and get to where you want to be. Alright, let's make this eraser into something more of a solid shape. Let's change my brush. Where's those brush settings? Where are you at? There we go. Shape dynamics. I want my minimum diameter a little bit smaller because honestly that helps me kind of get this in. I still haven't found the perfect brush for working with this new kind of format I do, but I'm getting there. Eventually I'll have something that's more along the lines of what I want. I'm gonna fix some of this up with the pen tool though. Sometimes every now and then I'll still have to use the pen tool to get like that nice sharp edge. But I am trying to do a piece where I'm not using them as much. Try not to rely on this tool as much as I used to rely on it. Not that it's a bad thing, it's just trying different techniques. Trying to be more fluid, I guess, but that's not even the right word. Alright, get that in there. Ooh, you're working on a new D&D campaign. Awesome. That's great, dude. I love it. Jen's actually going to be running her first solo campaign for the group, which is Chris's wife, in April for her birthday. That's going to be a lot of fun, too. She's never done one before, so she's super excited. So at some point, I got to make my character sheet for that. Because I'm going to be a cleric, but I'm not really sure what path I'm going to take with the cleric. I might do life cleric. I might do trickster cleric. I'm not really sure. I'm still kind of figuring it out. Still feeling it. Right now I'm kind of adding some blacks. Usually I don't really do this until later, but I don't know. I kind of want to start here so I can kind of get a feel for what I want to do with this overall. Get some more thick and thin going on. I'm trying to figure out my brush stroke stuff again. This stream will also not be as long as last time. I screwed up my shoulder last time when I was doing this for too long. I felt it the next day. It's not great. Not like permanently, just I forgot that I need to take breaks. So this one will probably be like around 2 hours or something like that. Probably get a couple more characters in, but then it won't be as long in between the next one. One of the reasons why the art streams kind of stopped for this for a little bit is mostly because I've been sick. I'm kind of almost over it. I'm at that phase where I'm like, I'm almost done with this stupid sickness. So it's almost completely out of my system. So I'm hoping by this Saturday it'll be kind of nipped in the bud. But it's been frustrating. I haven't been able to work out in a while, and it's not exactly what I want. I was making a lot of progress, so I want to get back to that. But still a little stuffy. So if I sound a little nasally, that's why. But doing much better. Still doing way better than I have in the last few weeks. So it's almost out of my system. And part of it's because I work with kids. So I think every time I get really close to getting it out of my system, I probably get like sick all over again based on one of them getting me sick. It's like a never-ending cycle. Especially when you work with little kids, that's what's gonna get you eventually. Alright, this guy's pretty much good. He's got some nice thick and thins going on. I think I need to do more thick and thin up here on his shoulder. I'm used to working with much thicker strokes, and you guys probably notice it with the couchlings and stuff like that. I like to have nice thick and thin lines. Aladdin was one of my favorite movies as a kid, and they use that a lot based on Al Hirschfeld's stuff. So I really want to kind of get that down. Oh, head right sniping panda. How you doing, dude? Or dudette, whatever you prefer. Glad you can make it. So yeah, just gonna keep on this is a little bit like a massaging phase. I don't really need to do this yet, but I'm trying to get my groove back before I tackle in those next characters, making sure my brush is kind of doing what I want it to do. Alright, let's see. Get that in there. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Good. Yeah, I know that mentally tired stuff. I'm kind of physically tired, but it's one of those things where I kind of need to push my body to stay up a decent amount, because if I need to go to bed around like probably 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock tonight, because I have to wake up earlier to go to the school that I'm working at tomorrow. But I gotta stay up late till then. So I feel you on the mentally tired thing. I know how that is some days. Alright, get that in there. Right now, for those of you that are still here, just kind of still feeling this out, getting this piece back into my mind. Yeah. Just trying to get back into a flow with this guy and trying to remember. I remember what I was doing, but usually with art pieces, there's not huge. I don't usually have huge gaps in between when I'm working on stuff. Okay. So this is a little bit of an adjustment. Not a bad thing. Just it's interesting. You know, some fine painters I know, like I have friends that'll like work on pieces for a long time. Like they'll work on it months at a time. I'm not really that kind of illustrator. I pretty much, when I sit down to start a piece, I pretty much finish it. I think the longest I've worked on a piece is a week, which is like my D&D stuff. But that's like I'll do it day after day after day after day until I'm doing it. Studying for your exams, man? Yeah, no wonder you're tired, dude. Exams are exhausting. That stuff will wear you out. Crazy. Well, I hope you do well in your exams, dude. Though I'm sure you will. if you're studying that much, just make sure to get some rest to clear your mind, and don't forget to like give yourself some like time in between to like just do something else so your mind can kind of refresh it a little bit. I've always found that when I'm studying for exams or tests or whatnot, as much as I can, I study as much as I can, and then after, like, when I get near the end of it, I'll take a big break, and then after that I'll study like one more time before my test, and I usually do pretty well based on that. Alright, this isn't getting some nice thick and thin. This is more so like me feeling it out, because I want to add weight to like the back of it in certain areas, so it feels like more punchy. It's something that you don't notice when someone's done it, but when it's not there, it feels weird. It's like when you look at certain people's artwork and the line work is really thin all over the place. Sometimes it can feel flat in a way. I want to make sure my line art feels punchy, but not like Powerpuff Girls punchy. Which, there's nothing wrong with that approach, it just doesn't fit my general aesthetic. So I want to make sure that there's kind of like a little bit of a in between those two. Drawing inspiration from Mike Mignola and other prominent illustrators that inspire me. It's always really obvious to me when I see illustrations that don't have thick and thin. Not that that's particularly bad. When I don't see really any line weight variation, it bugs me a little bit, because I know it will look so much better. It happens a lot in animation just because most of the time it's doing thick and thin per drawing is just not possible. It's too much of a time constraint. You know, it's too hard to get that. I think that's why sometimes I prefer like the rough animations of Dragon Ball Z from like the Frieza saga, when they weren't cleaning them up as much. There's a really grittiness to that animation that kind of gets sterilized when they go to the Android saga. Now, there's some really great animation in the Android saga. Don't get me wrong. The animation's still great. Just some of the line work just doesn't feel as fluid. There's something about the artistic expression in that Frieza saga that feels super real. It reminds me kind of the old 101 Dalmatians kind of era of like 60s to 70s Disney animation, where everything felt super rough and had that like Xerox feel to it. I really like that look. There's something about that roughness, which is funny because my art is typically very clean. It's very like meticulous. It's very I don't want to say well thought out, because that stuff is well thought out too. It's very much more precise, which is funny because I'm very usually off the cuff, easygoing type of deal. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Just that little stuff right here. So like if I toggle this off and then I toggle it back on, you can kind of start noticing a little bit of the difference. It doesn't, like, it's not huge, but you know, you add a little bit here and there and it can really bring it out. You have a pretty loose schedule, but programmers goes, no, it is not, Drunk Dougie. I totally know. Two of my brothers are programmers. One of them is a big time programmer, writes tons of code for big companies, like film companies and like studios and whatnot. And my other brother, he got into programming. He does a little bit, not as much now. He got a degree in economics as well. So he does a tiny bit of programming, not the same like super high level stuff, but still way more than I know. All my brothers are like computer scientists. I'm the lone wolf teacher art credential guy. Art degree guy. So I very much am in a different mold. They all make a lot of money. I do not, but that's okay. I get to do what I love, which is to draw. Like I still have never found anything else that I like nearly as much. Teaching is the closest I've been to liking anything else. I think I'm gonna illustrate. I think I'm gonna keep doing the guys in the background because I can make them really loose, and I think I just need to kind of get in there. And even though I'm kind of intimidated by them, I just need to do them. Yeah, I mean, my brother loves the challenge. When he was growing up, I mean, he would be able to attest to it more than I could. But he was always kind of looking for that extra challenge, that extra depth, that new level to, you know, really really challenged his mind because he was always really smart when we were kids. I didn't really notice it until like we kind of got into high school. Like I knew he was in like the higher programs and stuff like that, but I didn't really know until like he started maturing. And then before my eyes, before I knew, it was just like, whew. He thinks on another level than I do. He thinks completely differently than I think, which is awesome. He has a completely different approach to life and how he does it, but at the same time, we are still very similar. And he's fun to talk to. He's a very interesting dude. What's not fun? Oh, not fun for what it is. I mean, Bugs, man. Oh yeah, Bugs. He talks about that all the time. Just writing code like for something you might not care about. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of comes with like every profession too. Sometimes you just got to write code and you got to do art and got to do stuff that you don't really like. That's unfortunately that's kind of just unfortunately being adult a little bit, which is both a bummer and kind of just the truth of all things. Let's see, I need a better picture of this. I need a good picture of this warrior guy. Let's pull this up. That's better. That's a better look. Alright. This is the part where I need to start kind of fleshing it out a little bit. I'm going to take that smoothing off. Start kind of getting in more of his armor. Not Naoki Yoshida, but Ahiko Yoshida. Ahiko. God, I can't remember his name. I think not Yoshimitsu. Yoshida? Ahiko Yoshida, the artist for Final Fantasy Tactics and who did the first art for Final Fantasy XIV. He is easily one of my favorite artists, but God, his style is so different than mine. I wish I could draw like him. Wish I had some of his clean execution. It's funny, he can do like super simple stuff and really like highly detailed. He is just masterful. I've been playing Final Fantasy XII a lot lately. It's been like my go-to game to play, and I played it a lot when I was a kid. And I played it again recently when I was an adult, but coming back to it in my 30s is it's a treat. That game is still so beautiful to look at. So much fun. There's so much to love about that game. Though I know some people just cannot stand it. I kind of feel like I'm drawing the mice characters I drew from Sly Cooper. The ones with the gas masks. These guys feel like they have the same energy. I feel like they have the same energy with these kind of gas mask looks. Oh, you took programming in 11th grade, Jack? Huh. Find it fun, feel satisfied making something, even if it isn't important, even the most well-made things are. That's a good way to go about it. Oh yeah, sorry, VOD. Yeah, this is a commission for one of my buddies from 14. Keeping it game related, but yeah, this is a commission for one of my friends. We've been wanting, people had been asking me to do art streams for a while, and I've been meaning to do this commission for a while, but finding time for it was always hard, so I figured, well, what the heck, why don't I just do this on here? Like, Valentar is a fan of Final Fantasy XIV, a couple other people on the channel play 14. I figured it'd be a good thing to do the illustration on. So, yeah, that's where this came from, is just wanting to finish this illustration, do an art stream for you guys, let you guys see the process in full. Because I know you see a little bit of it with the other stuff. You see a little bit of it when I'm doing the speed paints. But I try and keep, those are usually, they're much faster illustrations. They tend to be around 2 hours or something like that. Yeah, I like it. So the thing that it's based on is this, Edvadi. Like, this is the design we're going off of. This is one of the Imperial Guards that you find in Final Fantasy XIV's A Realm Reborn. Kami sucked in 14. Then my lack of Muns betray me. Yeah, sorry, Blue Lip. It is a great game, but it's good to take breaks from it too. I don't play it as much as I used to. I used to play it much more frequently. I probably will jump on it a little bit tonight, just for like an hour or something to do like the holiday event. Great game. I love the fact that I can play it casually too. That's the biggest thing for me. Chris quit it a long time ago. He wanted to do other stuff in life, and eventually that led to the channel, which has been amazing. Like, it's been fantastic. But I still keep with it. It's still one of my favorite games to play. It's easy for me to just kind of jump on, do a couple of things every now and then when they add new content. So I've kept my subscription all these years. They've taken so much money from me. Those jerks. Let's see. Let's get that sword hilt going in. Break that in. What have you guys been playing lately? What are you guys working on? Trying to beat, other than, you know, life stuff? Any cool games you guys been playing lately? Alright, let's get this sword in there. Barrel. Barrel. Maybe I should chip this sword. No, I can't. Actually, yeah, let's break this sword in pieces. Ooh. Been playing Hollow Knight recently. Finally got to watch tonight. Nice, nice. How's it going, Drunky, with Temtem? Oh, and Underhero, what I've been playing. Temtem looks cool. MMOs are kind of too hard to work into the channel. It looks interesting. I think once more of it's out, I might check it out. But I also just, you know, one MMO is kind of enough for me. If I have any more MMOs in my life, I might lose my mind. 14's already this constantly, this constant thing where it's like, ah, yeah, there's something I haven't done in there. Should probably go hang out and do some of that. So that's one of the reasons why I'm resistant to picking up Temtem. It's also just funds. I know there's a couple games coming out in the next few months that I want to play, specifically for the channel. So I'm holding on those funds for something a bit more, something a bit else. There's a couple games down in the pipeline. Like, one I know it's far off, but Cyberpunk, even though that's coming out in the fall, is one game I'm saving money for. Final Fantasy XIV, something I probably will pick up, but not sure. Clans and stuff are not integrated yet. Yeah, it is just online Pokemon. And I think that's part of the problem too, is as cool as it is, I know that I haven't even been playing Sword. Like, because me and Chris play it on the channel, I haven't really dived into it myself. Just kind of one of those things, like, I've played so much Pokemon that even though I'm loving our playthrough. Our playthrough is fun. It's so much fun, but it gives me everything that I want from a Pokemon playthrough. I don't need the physical need of, I need to play this on my own. I'm like, oh, I'm seeing you do all of it. Like, and that's half the fun, is just seeing all the new stuff. Once I've seen all the new stuff, it doesn't hold as much fruit for me. The main reason I bought it was so he could play it. He was super excited to play a new Pokemon game. So, like, the whole point of it wasn't for me to play it. It was for him to play it. Kind of like think of it, I thought of it as like, it's basically his Christmas gift. This leg is going to be a problem, isn't it? Why am I trying to do advanced perspective techniques? Alright. Bring that in. This guy's going to be a bugger. He's going to be an absolute bugger. Let's bring this in there. You know what? This would probably be torn. Like, I'll probably just fill this in with black. That'll probably be a good way of getting away with it. But yeah, you guys will have to keep me updated on how Temtem's evolving. I'm very interested to see. I like the fact that Pokemon's getting some kind of competition. It hasn't really had any, and that, like, there's Digimon, but it appeals to different audiences. And I love me some Digimon. I really do. I might even like Digimon a little bit more. I don't know. I love Pokemon. I really do. Pokemon's got a nostalgia thing, but I think in terms of like story and stuff, I think I've always liked Digimon a bit better. But I think that's kind of unfair because Digimon Season 1 and Season 2 had a story, whereas Pokemon doesn't really. It does, but it's not really a story, you know? Like, there's storylines that I really like from Pokemon. Like when he has to go catch the Haunter with Sabrina, or like the Sandslash at that trainer's gym and stuff like that, or with Primeape in that first season. Like, that stuff is fun. But yeah. In general, I've always thought like Digimon had a much stronger story going on. The first game I ever played, Pokemon was always push. Yeah, same here. Like, I've been playing Pokemon games since Red and Blue. So they have a super significant special place for me. I've been playing them for so long. Most Pokemon, I'll remember certain Pokemon forever. Like there's tons I will never forget. Scizor is probably still my favorite. Platinum was good. I enjoyed playing Platinum. For me, the peak has always been Silver and Gold. They've never really gotten higher than that for me. It's not that the other games aren't better. They are. Like, they're technically better. There's more to do in them. The Silver just hit me at the perfect time. Like, Red and Blue was great, but Silver was just... It was just kind of... It has some of my favorite Pokemon ever. It was kind of right before... It was like my years, like 6th grade, I think it was, or something like that. It might have been longer than 6th grade. I might have been... I think I was in 7th grade when Silver and Gold came out, or 6th grade. But that hit the sweet spot. It had, like, I love the day and night cycle, the berries, the missing nose, the art Pokemon, you know, all that stuff. Torchic was pretty great. Torchic's like my favorite fire type, just because I think Blaziken is just the shit. Like, Blaziken's just rocking. I don't really care for Combusken. I don't really care for Torchic. But when I saw its evolve form, I was like, hell yeah. Put this guy on my team. Let me have this guy. Let me have this bad boy. Let me have him part of my squad. And yeah, he was, I got him to like level 100 or something like that. My Blaziken just wrecked everything and everyone. Nothing kind of stood against us. And Ruby was like one of the last big ones I played before I kind of took a break. Like, I did end up playing Platinum eventually because I borrowed it from my brother, but it was years after Platinum came out. And eventually I played X and Y because my other brothers bought it, and they wanted me to be on it too because they hadn't played Pokemon games in a while. But I skipped a bunch of them. I think I might have borrowed Black and White and just rushed through that back when I was in college because I just was playing through DS games I didn't play through because I had a DS, but I sold it. The DS, I don't know why, it never really clicked with me. I loved the SP, and then when the DS came out, I think I was maybe just a little too old, and I kind of like the PSP was my jam, so I played that for the most part, and kind of avoided the DS, and eventually kind of got back into it a little bit as time went on. Yeah, DS didn't really suit a lot of what I wanted. I think it was just the graphics because they were kind of going back to N64 stuff. Something about it just didn't feel right. You know, I never really played Bowser's Inside Story. I played the first Mario Superstar Saga, and I thought it was funny, and I really liked it. But Super Mario RPG has always been my favorite, and then I liked Paper Mario. Superstar Saga is the closest I felt that it's been to Super Mario RPG. So I played that, but then I played the one with the baby Marios in there, and I did not like that one. I did not like the one with the baby Luigi and baby Mario. Like the time travel one. It wasn't about the writing. It's just the gameplay was not fun to me. I did not... Yeah, the Time Paradox one. I didn't like playing that one. I thought it was too much on the brain to have to control like the X and the A and the B and the Y and the dual attacks and the button pressing. Like, it was too much for my brain. I was like, oh god. And I kept on losing stuff, and it was just... It was more taxing than it was fun. So that was where I kind of fell off with the series, which bummed me out because I really liked Superstar Saga. I still have it. It's right behind me on my shelf. I could easily pop it in right now and play it. I did not like the time paradox one though. One, I've always thought Baby Mario and Baby Luigi are stupid. I'm sorry. If you like them, that's great. I think Baby Mario is fine in Super Mario World 2. I think that's okay. That's not my beef. But whenever they add like the baby characters into like Mario Kart and whatnot, I always just feel like it's a wasted character slot. I'm like, but Mario's right here. And I love time travel shit. But the idea of like Baby Mario and Baby Luigi and Baby Peach and Baby Daisy, I'm just like, oh, this is so boring. Have one baby character. Have one. Give me one baby character and that's it. Like Baby Bowser, he's legitimately cool. But all the other ways. I never got to play Super Paper Mario, but it looked cool. Probably was the only Paper Mario I played. I liked Thousand Year Door and I liked Paper Mario 64. I played those and I thought those were great. I love this deck. It's funny. I don't even like Mario that much. Like, I like Mario games, but Mario isn't my favorite Mario. I prefer Luigi. If I have a choice to play as Luigi in a game, I will always pick Luigi. He's my boy. I think that's mostly just because my brother would always pick player 1, so he was always Mario, and I would always be Luigi, so I've just kind of created this affinity for that character, and passion. So I think that's why Chris is Mario, always Mario, and I'm always Luigi in some ways, because since Chris was an only child, or well, not an only child, but he was the only boy that wanted to play games in his family, so he always got to be Mario, so he'd always pick Mario, whereas I had 3 brothers, and my eldest brother loved Mario, and I would always pick Luigi, and I thought Luigi was the cooler one. And ironically, my brother's the shorter one, and I'm the taller one. And I used to be the fatter one, but now I'm the skinnier one. Again, he's not fat. It's just I got really skinny now. Again. Oh, I'm glad you could hop on too, Drunk Ducky. Thanks for coming in, dude. I hope you have a good time studying. Get some sleep. Peace out, dude. Glad you could be here. Oh, hey, Valentara. Welcome to the stream. Here we are, still working on more. This guy's coming along pretty good. I should probably save it. I gotta remember, I don't want to put too much detail on him because it doesn't matter too much. Excuse me for a second. I'm still a bit sniffly. Still trying to figure out this dude's hand. I need to find some more of my reference pictures. Slept in, have rated him 1.5 hours. Well, this one's gonna be a much shorter one. We're not gonna be doing there'll be more of these. But I learned my lesson after last time. They'll be like much shorter sessions. These ones will be about 2 hours or something like that. But I think I might do these ones more infrequently. Not infrequently, more frequently. Here and there to kind of get this piece done. I think I need to have this arm kind of coming out like this. Like, crap. My freaking sword. What are you doing in raid tonight, Valentara? Are you guys just doing your weekly stuff, or got other stuff you gotta take care of? Is it more blue stuff? More little art streams, less big art streams. Yeah, that's the key, blue. 2 hours is fine. It's just when it gets to 4 hours, it's easier with games. With art, I tend to take a lot of breaks as I'm going. Like when I'm not working on stream and I'm just kind of working on my own, I'll work for like 45 minutes I think at a time, and then I'll just take like a 30-minute break, and then I'll get back at it again. I used to work straight a lot more, but in recent years I've liked to let my mind just kind of wander for a little bit, and then I'll kind of get back into it as it goes on. I'm not sure why that started developing, but it definitely does help. It definitely seems to be a net positive more than a net negative. That's for sure. I guess I'll just make some of this up. It doesn't matter too much. I mean, I'm going to keep it into the vein of 14. I'm not going to change it dramatically, but I think I need to just be willing to kind of, you know, change a little bit of this. This hand is a little funky. I think I need to do kind of his palm, and then his thumb would be in. Here I am. I'm mimicking I'm literally like in my room, moving my hand behind my head. I'm like, all right, how do I get this hand? What would it kind of look like? Yeah, I think that's good. Something like that. I'm probably gonna move his arm back a little bit and twist it. Yeah, something like this. I think that's good. Bring this a little bit more. I'm really hoping also that I figured out the music stuff, because we got pinched again while doing the Jack and Daxter stuff. I hope that the music I finally set up as a playlist will not happen again, because I feel bad when it does that to Chris. Oh, you're teaching it for Titan? That's awesome, you Valentara. I'm glad you guys are doing that. I had my friends teach me Leviathan a little bit ago. That was fun. Most raid fights I'm pretty solid with. All those years of raiding have not worn off on me. I still pick up mechanics fairly quickly, I'd like to say. DPS usually takes me a little bit, but in terms of mechanics, I've always found that's my one strength when playing 14. Okay, girlfriend actually stopped playing raiding with her. Finally want to start back up again. That's super nice of you. Very nice indeed. I'm sure they appreciate that. Alright. I think that's pretty good for this one. I know there's more on this. Let me look at this other picture. They've kind of got... Yeah, they've kind of got this thing going on. A little bit of a wave. And they kind of have a belt. Here, my prospective teacher's advice. Wrap the belt around. Make sure it fits. You did it wrong, Sam. Actually, Joko was a really nice guy. There was always advice he told me about the way perspective works and how belts work. It's a good indicator, like doing it up or doing it down. Depends on whether, you know, you're looking at it from that perspective or you're, you know, looking up. Mind the weird eyes. Also, I heard your request. Bad mic. Mike's super fucking chill, so that's Derpy Mike. We'll have to screen grab that or something like that later. It's Mook. All right, I'll save that somewhere else. Let me put that on another layer. I'd forgotten about that. It's Mook. All right. That's good, actually. That's actually pretty solid. Let's add some like distraction waves, some blowback. But I think that's good for sketching him out. I'm gonna sketch out the other guys too. Gotta get that Garlean eye as well. Bring that in. And then a little bit there, a little bit there. Yeah, that should be good. Bring that gauntlet in. Yeah, I like that. That looks pretty good. Doesn't need to be super detailed because it is in the background. And when it's all said and done, he's gonna be that big. So I don't want to put too much detail into it. Otherwise, it's just gonna look silly. Let's go ahead and get this guy. One of the tricks that I know like a lot of illustrators like to do is like put things in black as well. Just like try and darken it up, which is super smart. For sketches though, I tend to like to get as much, not detail, I guess detail, before I kind of go for my final lines. Part of it too is this is the first time I'm drawing their front face, so figuring that out. For those of you also wondering why Chris is not here, well, one, it's an art stream. Two, his little sister's birthday is today, so he's hanging out with his fam. So that's why it's an art stream instead of a Triforce Thursdays. Just in case you're wondering what that hooligan's up to. He's off being a good big bro. That's pretty solid. It is in fact a liquid or a gas. I was actually teaching kids the other day about solids and liquids. That was funny. Not much of a science teacher, but yet somehow I was in science class teaching science. Go figure. Alright. Let's get this guy. Let's break down his muscles. I think that'll make it easier. Be beefy. Oh, it went back to 24 for smoothing. That explains a lot. I don't want that. I do want this. Bring that up. Bring that up. If it happens on a Thursday, sure, we can call them Triforce Thursdays. That was the initial idea that we were going to have. Was like Zelda on Thursdays. But holidays kind of got in the way, and then, you know, art streams would typically mostly be on Sundays, and, you know, that would be the time when we would play games together, type of deal, like, try and keep Thursdays open so I had time during the week to kind of do what I need to do, just because, you know, one, we usually have to record, so, because of work, you know, it's easier for me to not stream during the week. Which is one reason why we started playing Breath of the Wild, because I knew he could kind of do that on his own and he wouldn't need me as much for it. And also, you know, that game it's more enjoyable, I think, when you don't have someone telling you everything and knowing everything on what to do. And also, he's just loving the shit out of it. Sunday Scribbles, that's a good idea. Sunday Alert, Sunday Scribbles. Yeah, that's a good idea. It might turn into Saturday Scribbles too. Like maybe art streams will happen on Saturdays when we're not doing D&D. Like maybe I'll make it more consistent in that way as well. Like there's not going to be a superset schedule for art streams, but I do want to finish this piece sooner than later. It kind of just depends. Okay, boyo. Let's get you situated. I feel like this guy is going to be a little bit more difficult than the other. I think Jen is still watching Disney movies in the other room. I'm not sure if she went with Chris. Let's see. Let's get that thing. Good name, GOG name. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for that idea, Blue Lip. But yeah, probably like Saturday Scribbles or something like that will be something accurate to what'll Sunday Scribbles or Saturday Scribbles. Yeah. Oh man, what am I gonna do with this guy's arms? I want to have him flying back. I kind of like what I did, but let me see. I've got that guy's blown back. Oh, I have this guy with his sword down here. You know what? Maybe I'll give him a different weapon. They all have gun blades, but I don't want them all to have gun blades. I'm gonna give this guy a spear. Let's give him probably not something super elaborate. He's just a Garlean soldier. Let's give him that. We'll kind of make this one up. I'm not going to be super focused on trying to make it exact to what is in 14. He's just a stooge. And then maybe he's like just slowly losing his grip. on it, so like he hasn't lost it yet, but it's happening. And then yeah, bring that in that shoulder, bring in this shoulder. All right, let's bring that in. Let's make sure we don't clip with that rock. And then I kind of want to twist this a little bit. Something like that. Yeah, I'm on the controller for Nier. That's gonna be me. I've been wanting to play that game for a while. Chris has been on most of the games on the sticks for the most part. So yeah, it's my turn to kind of get back on there. And I'm the most hyped for it too. I also play the most RPGs. So it just makes sense. If it was like a twin stick shooter, it'd be on Chris's. But yeah, I've been wanting to play Nier for a long time. Just never got around to it. So this is the perfect opportunity. So thanks for voting that in, everybody. I do hope Grimdom makes it at some point too, because I'd like to see Mike and Chris get to play that game. They're such huge Diablo fans. I think they would have a good time playing that as well. You guys are always really great with like the choices that you pick for us to play. You have not steered us wrong yet. Alright, this is the one. This is why it's feeling off balance. I think I need to just... not that way. If this is going there, and this is going here, I kind of want... everything's going almost like in a diagonal pattern. What do I want to do with this arm? Let's see. It'd get blown back, so if like he's getting pushed back and his spear is in his one hand, I think I actually want this spear to look like it's more coming out at a point almost. Like, I kind of want to get the perspective different, but I'm not sure how to particularly draw that. That's a toughie. Nah, that doesn't really work either. Let's bring that back. Stuff. Tough stuff. If you had the spear in two hands, maybe the other hand is like over his chest. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Maybe like, it's a good idea. Maybe like his hand was on it, so he's kind of blown back a little bit. I think that might work. It's all about the silhouette too, so I'm trying to figure out like how I want to... Maybe I bring the hand up like here, like it's been blown back. It's tough. Like the far hand let go first. Yeah, because I have his backhand holding on to it. And then if he thrusts but then get knocked back. You know what? If he's still holding on to it, like maybe, let me think. Holding on to it. He's getting blown back this way. If that was his hand holding it down, and they got knocked back, it's like, ugh. His hand would be kind of in front of his chest. I'm trying to feel like what would be the most natural way about it. You know what? Even though this doesn't make the most sense, I think I might go with something like that. Like, it's kind of in front of his face. I think I need to change the angle of the spear. I think that's the biggest thing, too. So let's take that out. Maybe I can break it too, where it's just like part of the spear is flinging off into the distance. Or something like that, like... February is a dead month for release as far as I know, so unless someone comes with something exceptional, I mentioned Grim. Yeah. Well, next month is going to be February. Yeah, so yeah, I hope so. It should be fun. Alright, you're getting erased. I do like the idea of this kind of stanky arm going around. I'm gonna angle it up a little bit. And I think what I'll do... Yeah, I think that's another thing too, is I just need to get this leg. I want him to be kind of off balance, almost. Yeah, that's a bit better. I think this makes more sense now. It's not perfect in terms of like spear theory of how you would hold it. But dynamically, I want things to be pointing on an angle and thinking about like how they're pointing towards the hero. So like even something as simple as his foot, I want to be angled that way. Like it all should be kind of motioned in that fashion. You know what? I think I might go with the sword again, just because it might just be easier to get this. I don't know. Maybe this guy was trying to block some of it and his shield kind of came off. Most of the Legionnaires have swords, so it would make sense. Spear is a nice idea, though. I think a broken shield kind of splintering off, like, ksh. This is all that remains. It's kind of like that broken part, and the other part is just kind of shattering off as we speak. And he's not really sure what's going on. Yeah. That's a bit more. It's a bit more what I'm looking for. Alright. Bring that in there. Like his sword didn't take the hit, it was more so his shield, and he tried to block it, but now he's kind of getting pushed around. Bring that foot in. Yeah, that's looking more like it. That's looking more like what I want to do. What games are you looking for? What games are you looking forward to? One game I know that has no release date is Eastbound. That seems really cool. But I have or Eastward, but I have no idea when it's coming out. That game looks tight. That looks so great. I can't wait to play that one. Alright, bring that in. Bring that there. And then go ahead and do this too. Yeah, I might do another one, a stream of this on Saturday, actually. I'm really starting to feel this piece again, and I want to keep that groove. Probably doing a lot of art this Saturday. So keep an eye out. If I decide to do one Saturday, I'll let you guys know ahead of time on Discord. But I might do another one on Saturday. Probably Saturday. Well, now I think about it, me and Chris might be recording. I don't know. It depends if me and Chris record. If me and Chris don't record, I'll do an art stream. If not, it just depends. I forgot that I'm hanging out with my brother on Saturday. We haven't hung out since I've been sick for like a while. But yeah, I want to get back to this more frequently because I want to finish this piece. The more I'm working on this, more I'm like, oh man, yeah, I like this. This is great. This is a great piece. This is gonna be really cool when it's all said and done and it's finished. Because it is getting into the point now where it's like, all right, most of these characters are pretty set. Pizza Tower I haven't heard of, Jack. That sounds really cool. Silk Song is definitely something that I'm excited for as well. I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be a boss-ass game. My feeling that is if Silk Song comes out, it's going to be a November release. November or August is my gut feeling. It's either November or August this year, or it's not coming out this year at all. Metroid Prime 4 is going to be really tight. I want to eventually go through those. I think they made a Switch release of that. That'd be a fun one to go through. If there's a Switch version of that game, I think going through the Metroid HD collection would be fun. Thank you guys so much for voting Jack and Daxter. That's a blast. I think Chris really enjoyed that one. I think at some point, if Jack and Daxter 1 does well, I think it'd be cool for us to go back and visit the other games as well, because they're not really that long. They're all pretty short. Isn't there like one in development though, Valentara, for like a Metroid HD release? I could have sworn like they did the Wii U. And I know Bayonetta's getting an HD release or something, and so is like Devil May Cry for Switch. So hopefully at some point that's coming out too. Oh yeah, I got this guy in the back as well. I gotta illustrate him. Let's get this guy down. Let's get his Vader-like head in there. It's weird, my style is both precise and super loose, so finding that balance can be tricky. As they say, it's tricky to rock around. Oh, rock around, oh tricky. Or however that song goes. Yeah, I love this guy in the back. He's just so silly. I wanted to vote for Metroid Prime, but you need a Wii or Wii U. Yeah, we have a Wii, but it's just one of those pain in the butts to set up. Something that we touched upon on Jack and Daxter. It's just kind of a pain to do super retro old games. Wii U, we do not have one. I do not have a Wii U. I could have swore I heard that there is going to be one for Switch at some point. But Metroid Prime 4 is probably definitely going to be one of the games we play on the channel. I don't have a lot of nostalgia for Metroid Prime, mostly because I just never really played them as a kid. They kind of freaked me out, so I kind of avoided them. But I love the Metroid series. But I'm not great at first-person shooters, so I don't know who's going to end up playing that one. Like, I love Metroid. Like, I know I'll be on that series. But I don't know who will play it, whether it'll be me or Chris. I'm not really great at first-person shooters, but I love Metroid games, so it'll kind of be a toss-up of who ends up playing that. I'm not really sure. but I can guarantee we're more than likely going to play it on the channel. It is delayed, so who knows when that's going to be. It's going to be a while before that comes out. So, I guess it doesn't matter. Maybe I have time to get better at first-person shooters. Makes you feel old, technically not even an adult yet. How do you think it makes me feel? My first console was the Super Nintendo. So, I didn't think about them as being super old until we started playing the PlayStation 3. And then just realizing how much games have kind of changed since then. And how even getting PlayStation 3 stuff is still kind of... It's a little bit getting harder to get that kind of stuff, you know? Like, the Wii isn't super old, but the Wii came out in, like, 2005, I believe, is when it came out. Which was when I was a year from when I was graduating high school. It was, like, 2005, 2006, when those, like, consoles were coming out. And, yeah, I was teaching a bunch of kids today that were born in 2014. So, you know, it's crazy how much time flies. And then I also had someone be like, oh, there's no way you're 31. I'm like, nope, I definitely am. Thought I was in my mid-20s. So, you know, blessings and curses. At least while time seems to be flying by, people don't seem to be knowing my age. Maybe I have a secret gene where I'm not going to look really old until, like, all of a sudden, bam, I'll hit 40 and I'll just look like ancient. Then again, I take pretty good care of myself now, so hopefully not. Hopefully I age gracefully. Which... my dad's aged actually pretty gracefully, so probably will, honestly. He only looks old because of his gray hair, like, but he rocks it. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm gonna be able to pull off that silver look when I'm older too then, huh? Sweet. It was not 5 when the Wii released, as it was... The Wii was 2011? Are you thinking the Wii U? Because I'm pretty sure it's like 2006 or 2005, Blue Lip. There's no way it was 2011. It was before I was in college. Wii U was recent, yeah. Wii U had to be probably 2011. But the original Wii was like 2006 or 2005. It was around there. Because the Switch is already a decently old console. Switch is probably about, what, 3 years now? Wii U was 2012. And the Wii was like 2006, right? It's elementary school for you. Oh man, I'm showing my age. But yeah, like 2006 sounds about right for that one, because I was in high school when I think it came out. Because I remember talking a lot about it around that time. Great console. Wii was a great console. I played a lot of it. I'm super excited for No More Heroes 3. That's going to be on the channel. 100%. I love that franchise so much. Travis touchdown for Smash. Make it happen, Sakurai. Alright, let's make this helmet a little bit smaller. Doesn't need to be that big. I have a ton of nostalgia for the Wii. I still get reviewed as a high school freshman at 25. Yeah, I know that feeling, Valentara. I know that feeling. I get that all the time. I have, as a teacher, multiple times I've been in the classroom when I teach at high schools, and the campus supervisors will come in, or the principal, and they'll look around a couple times to try and find out where the teacher is. And it takes them a good hot second when the students will be like, no, it's that guy over there. And they'll have to point to me, just like as confirmation that I am indeed the instructor. I am indeed the teacher. And I'm like, what the hell? I've been doing this for 5 years. I'm an adult, I swear. Totally not chilling. I've been multiple times. I don't know what it is. I think it's my youthful innocence and the fact that I still dress. No, I dress better than I did in high school, but I wear flannel and hoodies. Pretty low-key dressed. GameCube's the shit. GameCube came out when I was... That was the beginning of high school. It was like the beginning of high school / kind of like 8th grade. When that happened. I think it was 8th grade when that happened, when I got the GameCube. Yeah, I put so many hours into that console. That's my bread and butter, is the GameCube. GameCube is probably one of my favorite consoles of all time, right next to the SNES. Like, SNES and GameCube are right up there. think that's, yeah, those are probably my favorite consoles, the GameCube and the SNES. SNES because it has a lot of memories. GameCube as well. Lot of hours playing Smash Brothers. Lot of hours playing Smash Brothers. Too many hours. And yet still not getting good at it. Getting schooled by my younger brother like I'd never played it before. Oh, let's see. You know what? Let's give you a spear. You were a spear boy. You had a spear. I believe you. You're the one. You're the spear. The spear that'll pierce the heavens. That's good. Maybe I'll break you too. Maybe I'll break it up too. Like, ah, shoot, it got shattered. But then I'm gonna have to take this piece. I'm gonna kinda... Oh, not that. I'm gonna angle it a little bit. Yeah. And then chunks of metal. Maybe like a chunk off here. It's part of it too. Warriors hit hard. Gotta show some damage. I don't want to decapitate anybody though. Not into that. I don't do the gory stuff. Not really great at it. Alright, that's him. He's good. He doesn't need a ton of detail because he's gonna be off in the distance. But I think I'll stick him like over here instead. Maybe even like there. Though I might move him a little bit. I'm not sure. But one thing I was looking at the other day, there's an artist I follow on Twitter who's posting stuff about Bambi from 1930 and just all the way they did background art and how they made sure everything was pointing towards the character. So I'm trying to keep that in mind as I'm working on this. Let's see, Jack, I'm checking the chat now. Nostalgia for GameCube games my dad bought off eBay. I remember my dad, when the Wii came out, he bought like 2 of them because people were selling them for extra money, and we made sure to sell one to my friend who wasn't able to get one at the time. That was like trying to pry it off my dad. He's like, but I paid for this. I'm like, yeah, but come on, Dad. Do you want to make a ton of extra money? Which, in retrospect, I understand he would, but it's like our friend couldn't get one. And he had, he knew my friend well because he had been a chaperone on one of our big field trips where we went to New York, which was a blast. So he got to have a Wii. I'm sure he made a lot of memories off that. But yeah, my dad stood at Best Buy with my younger brothers for a couple of hours or something like that to get a couple of Wiis. Back when they first came out. Just off my head from the GameCube, Smash Brothers, WarioWare, Mario Kart says Blue Lip, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, 20 Minutes of Wind Waker, 20 Minutes of Wind Waker, and old Zelda games I don't care enough to remember. Yeah, I played a lot of Wind Waker, Beautiful Joe, Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, Luigi's Mansion, tons of Smash Brothers, Tales of Symphonia, for sure. That was a huge one for that. Crystal Chronicles, I'm excited for that coming back out. I can look at my GameCube library. SX Tricky, I played a ton of that. What else do I have from the GameCube on my shelf? I don't have a ton here. Most of the ones my brother took. Yeah, lots of memories from that. I'd say my other favorite console was definitely the Game Boy SP. Played a ton of RPGs. Super Battle Network was a huge thing of mine. If there was a way to play those, like I know there's the GameCube port thing, but I'm still waiting for them on Switch to have a Game Boy library. I'm still really bummed out that like that stuff hasn't happened yet. Yeah, a lot of hours. PlayStation 3 might want to be one of my other favorite consoles because I put a ton of time into that one. But most nostalgic ones is definitely the Game Boy Advanced SP, the GameCube, and the Super Nintendo. Like, those are top tier for me. Zelda games, obviously. Wind Waker more than Twilight Princess, but I like Twilight Princess a lot. Yeah, tons of nostalgia for that stuff. Where's my giant at? Oh, he's hanging out back there. Let's toggle off this and this. I need to toggle off some of these guys. Toggle you off. Toggle that. That's what I want. Alright. Let's turn you guys off for a second. I need to sketch this bad boy. I need to get him into frame. You know what? I should put those guys on just so I can see where this is going. But I'm going to change my ink to a purplish color. Big nostalgia for games on the Wii are Mario Galaxy. Yes, the Mario Galaxy games were great. Lego games, yeah. I remember those. I love those Mario Galaxy games. Those are great. Those are so good. That made me really love 3D Marios. I loved Sunshine. I loved the Galaxy games. I've never been a huge fan of 2D Mario games, though. I think it's just because I'm not that good at them. They're good games. They never really spoke to me as a kid. But those 3D Marios, I've played a ton of them, too. Beat both the Mario Galaxies. Beat, Sunshine a couple times, like twice, I think. I also beat, 3D Land was really good. 3DS was a fun console. Though mine's pretty much dying. I'll probably have to buy a new one or do a system reboot for that at some point. Because that thing's about to bite the bullet. Doesn't have much more life in it. Let's see if I can make this thing work. I could go into my ex-boyfriend's every Thursday back in elementary school, and the two of us just worked our way through it. Just to clarify, dated after elementary. Good point. Yeah, but if you were both in elementary school, it would just been... That's like... When kids like each other in elementary school, it's so ridiculous. It's like, oh, he likes me. It's like, yeah, okay. Okay, little one. In about 2 days, you're going to forget what that he even liked you. And then you're going to be on to the next kid that likes you. And then the rumor mill will start. And, oh, liking kids, it's the teacher's worst nightmare. It's like, oh, God, you chillins. Chill out. It's cute, but also frustrating when kids get upset. You're like, oh, no. Kiddo, don't worry. There's going to be other relationships that mess you up way worse than this. Give it a couple of years. This is nothing. Wait for the big ones. I'm just being silly. Sort of. Yeah, elementary school you're dating, like why? I didn't get dating all throughout high school. That stuff was always... I always kind of avoided it for the most part. I just wasn't that interested. I was more interested in art. I was like, we're all going to go off to college and never see each other. And I don't want to marry someone from high school. Which... It's fine, because some people it works out really great. Like, Chris and Jen, that worked out perfectly. For my mom and dad, it worked out perfectly. But I didn't know what I was going to do, where I was going to go after high school. I knew, I didn't know where I was going to be, where I was going to go to college. I knew that pretty much the girls that I liked were going off to SoCal, and I had no idea where I was going. I ended up staying here in the Bay, which is awesome. But, dating in high school always just seemed kind of silly to me, because it's like, we're all leaving. We're all going somewhere else. I didn't want to get tied down. Oh, hey, Pet Red Pat. How's it going? I just stopped hanging around her because of the pressure. Yeah, that makes sense. Try to push me to date my best friend in elementary school. That happens to every kiddo. That happened to me when I was a kid. Kiddos are obsessed with it. I don't know why. Like, they just are. I think they have a perception of love and what it should be and what it means to be. And they think it's easy and all this other stuff. And I was always under the assumption, I always knew that relationships are hard work. And, I could always see with my parents how hard they worked at theirs. So even when it came to, high school stuff, I could just see, the shallowness of it. And I was so focused on my art and so focused on band and stuff like that, it just didn't matter that much to me. I've always been super driven. So that kind of stuff always seemed like a distraction. Though for some people it's not. Some people it's a strength. Some people it, benefits them, helps them grow, change, evolve, better people. Learn from their mistakes. So it's not bad. It's not all bad. It was just me. I'm a cynic, and yet an optimist. I'm a living contradiction. I don't like how this head's turning out. I like this one better. I'm trying to stay more true to the design, but I don't think I like it as much. I think I'm gonna keep going with that original idea. I think this original idea is better. Like it's not as true to what the Magitech looks like. But honestly, I think I like it a bit more than that. Yeah, I know she did until after high school and transitioning. Yeah, that makes sense, Valentar. That would be a lot to go through. Did a little dating in college and stuff like that. Not too much, but, you know, here and there. But for the most part, I've mostly just been super driven. So, like, I've had relationships, short, some long. But for the most part, you know, I've always been super pushed by my art. So it's been always the primary focus of my goals throughout my life. And that's mostly just where I put my attention. Huh. Let's see. I like part of this. Maybe I can take... Let's take this and bring this in here. Yeah. That's good. That's what I want. That's the kind of energy I'm looking for. Let's bring that in. Yeah, that's better. Alright. Though I will say, when you get in a good relationship, there's nothing quite like it. It's pretty great. Take a lot of work, and they're hard. But there's nothing quite like it. Alright, that is definitely a bit more of what I wanted. Alright, I feel like I gotta just make this guy up, though. Like, I'm looking at the artwork, but I don't think it's worth my time to really get super... He's just muscly. He's just super muscly and all that stuff. Big horn boy. Yeah, I can see that, Pat. I was kind of like the same way. I didn't start really, like, kind of wanting to date until, like, after high school. I didn't want to make a mistake and, like, you know, force myself into a life that I wasn't ready for. I also just knew that, you know, when I was in a relationship, I didn't think I was mature enough, but I don't think I was ready, mentally. Even now, sometimes I wonder, like, am I good enough for a relationship? Not good enough. Good enough's not the answer. That's not what I mean. I meant, like, how much of it do I want to devote? I'm so enveloped by my art. Sometimes it's not that I put people to the side, but I am so driven. It's something that whenever someone's in a relationship with me, they have to kind of come to terms with how passionate I am about art and how much time I like to spend on art. And as you know, it's pretty much I spend time with them and I spend time doing my art, and that's kind of like, that's my whole bag. That's what I like to do. I just can't get rid of that passion. I don't know how to quell it. There's always some project I want to work on. I'm always super driven to work on the next thing, and I don't really have a chill mode, I guess. I'm super chill and not chill at the same time, if that makes sense. I get what you're saying, though, Blue. And there's, you know, when you find the right person, you find the right person. There's no point of forcing yourself into going with what everybody else wants or going with what you think is the social norm. You know, there are plenty of people that are happy being outside of relationships. They don't talk about it, you know. And it's really easy when everyone is striving to be in one, but I think that's the wrong mindset. To feel like you need to be in a relationship. I think you need to be, as a person, 100% whole with yourself. So when you come into a relationship, it's an addition. It's not, you're not trying to seek anything, trying to have that person fill that void that you have. Now, it's one thing if, you know, you help each other together. I mean, that's the point of a relationship, getting through life, through the hard times and being with it. But I think if you're going into a relationship with the goal of trying to satiate some need or some desire you have, and then trying to expect that person to fulfill it, you're always going to be disappointed. You're always going to run into a situation where they don't meet your expectations because it's unrealistic and it's unfair to go into that mindset. You know, I think you always have to approach it with like the whole idea is that you make each other stronger and better by supporting one another, and then also accepting the flaws that that other person has and realizing that nobody's perfect, but together you can be a stronger force. And just have good times. That's the real point of it. It's just to find someone to have good times with it. I can understand that, but you know, with that, Pat, you always got to remember that even with a failed relationship, as much as it's hard to think of it, it's not always, it's not a failure. And that's something that I've had to come to terms with as well myself, with previous relationships and stuff like that. But I think there's also nothing wrong with, you know, finding fulfillment by being by yourself. There's a lot of stress in this world to be in a relationship, to have that kind of stuff, and to always be maintaining it. But also just, I think more and more people are realizing there's nothing really wrong with just going solo. Like, you're not really solo because you have friends and family and other people you can count on. But I think it totally makes sense if people are just like, nah, man, I'm good on my own. I have a lot of art friends that are like that. Like, they have tons of friends and, you know, they have relationships here and there, but they're also good being by themselves. I think that's an important value to have, is being good on your own. And that's something that I'm definitely good being solo. I'm used to it. Most of my life I have been. But that being said, at some point I would like to be in a relationship again. Like I said, there's nothing quite like it when someone's in your corner, but they can be hard. It can be extremely difficult. But I'm an optimist by nature, so, you know, I always gotta believe in that better tomorrow. Still work hard, but always believe that there is something better or someone new that I haven't met, or finding, you know, getting back to what made me happy. And also just realizing that, you know, even when things seem like they're bad, I always got good stuff going on. Life may not be exactly where I want it to be. I may not have the financial or independent success that I wish I had right now. But you know what? Not everybody does. Life is full of trade-offs. I have certain things that other people will never have. All the experiences that some people will never get to have, and know what it's like to be a teacher that when you walk on campus, every kiddo is just like chanting your name and like going crazy because you're their favorite teacher on multiple campuses. Like, other people have never experienced that, and that's something I get to do all the time by subbing and going to different schools. I have tons of kids that look up to me, and that's awesome. I always wanted to be a kind of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I always loved those characters growing up, and to kind of end up being that kind of person is both, you know, is truly humbling. And even though I haven't got to work for major studios in a long time, you know, that's a pretty good trade-off. Making such a significant impact in a bunch of kids' lives in a positive way, you know, that's pretty amazing. I'm still kind of flabbergasted why kids like me so much. Not trying to humble brag, it's just, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I was working with kindergartners today. These kiddos are great. So much fun. Okay, this arm needs to be higher, because this guy has not been attacked by our warrior. He is just more up here, kind of in shadow. You have become the old man? Yeah, I kind of am. I'm growing a beard out too now, so I'm embracing my Obi-Wan-ness. I'll probably shave in one thing. I think it's so funny that I've become the old man, but I'm constantly being thought I'm like 5 or 6 years younger than I actually am, which is just hilarious to me. I'm the old man persona in anything but appearance. No, Gandalf, Sam, I'll never have it that long. I like that Obi-Wan Kenobi beard. My brother grows a really good beard. The problem is I like change, so I'll have it out for a while. I'll probably have it for this winter month. Probably when it hits spring, I'll probably shave it again. I grew it out last year for the first time. I really liked it. It was a lot of fun, so I'll see how it looks this time. But I'm a creature of contradiction, like I said. So I'll like it for a while and be like, all right, that was fun. That was cool. I liked it. Now time to change it up again. Time to, you know, put something different out there in the universe. All right, let's get those abs going. God, I'm so glad I'm almost over this sickness. I cannot wait to get back to working out. It just makes me feel so much better. And I haven't, like, gained weight or anything, but I was on such a good roll for about 4 months. And I know I've said it a lot on streams, but it sucks when you're sick, but you're not sick enough not... You can still do stuff. You can still play games. You can still do things here and there, but, like, in terms of physical activities, not really being able to kind of go out and really fully exert yourself is a huge bummer. Can't wait for this stupid cold to be over. It's just the worst. Alright, where are those guys? Let's turn... Is that group 6? Yeah, that was group 6. This is looking cool, though. This is turning out great. I'm glad I'm feeling better, too. Thanks, Pat. I still got a little bit of the sniffles, but, you know, it's finally going away. It's finally like, I'm like, okay, cool. The headaches have pretty much gone away. I'm still a little tired, but it's like I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's just this one has been a long one. I think I had bronchitis, honestly. I think I had bronchitis for a little bit. My dad gets it every other year or something like that. So I'm like, oh, that... And I looked up some of the symptoms like, yeah, no, that sounds about right. That seems like about what I had. No, I still blame Chris. I still think he's the one that got me sick. He'll try and blame it on the kids, but I still think it was him. He's like, no, I didn't have those symptoms. I'm like, I still think you got me sick. I spent the most time with you, more than any of those kids. I'm pretty sure you got me sick. We did a bunch of recording sessions. I don't think Chris actually had pneumonia, though, because I don't think he had a fever and stuff like that. I think he had just severe bronchitis, honestly. Chris was bad, though. Like, Chris was really bad for a couple of days, but I don't think he had pneumonia. I think he had bronchitis, because pneumonia is something you more have to immediately treat. I think he would have got more fevers and stuff like that. Because my mom had pneumonia as a kid. Yeah, that was a scary time. Yeah, she had, like, double pneumonia when I was... What grade was I in? I think it was, like, in 3rd grade. Something like that. She had double pneumonia. It was really serious. She's fine now. She pulled through, so, you know, nothing crazy happened, but she was on bed rest for a month. My grandma at the time had to come over and help out a lot because she literally couldn't do anything. And my mom is not a workaholic, but she's not used to, like, she's not about sitting on her ass. She's constantly wanting to do things and doing projects. I get it from my parents. They're always up on the weekend early. They're always working on something, improving the house themselves, doing, like, my dad either doing something with construction or building stuff, or my mom either doing scrapbooking or photographs or art or some kind of crafting or quilt project. So while they didn't give me, it's funny, they always say when I was a kid, oh, I don't know where you get the art thing from. And as I've gotten older, I'm like, oh no, I know where I get it from. I get it from you guys. It's just, you guys do art, but in a different way. My dad does it with his hands, and my mom does it through, like, quilting and scrapbooking. I just did the same thing, and just, you know, instead I just did it through drawing. That was my go-to method. That's the one thing I found passionate for. And my parents have always been super supportive of me as an artist, which has been, I know most people don't have that. I know tons of art friends whose parents aren't supportive of them. I definitely lucked out. That's one thing that kind of keeps me going. Like, I got really lucky with my parents. I know not everyone, including my own parents, didn't have the greatest growing up life. So my parents always really tried to make sure that I was supported, and always, you know, I've always believed in my dream of kind of making it as an artist. And in their minds, I've made it. In their minds, I'm super successful, which is great. I don't think I'm successful enough yet. I think I still have ways to go. But, you know, having their constant support is it's definitely preferable. It's a good thing to have. And it makes sense. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he had bronchitis, Pat. Like, because pneumonia, it's such a severe thing that, like, when it hits, it hits. Like, you know, people die from pneumonia all the time. Even people, like, around our age. So that's why I'm like, I don't think it was. Like, it was bad, but I think bronchitis. Because bronchitis you can cure on your own. Bronchitis, there's not much of a cure. But you want to treat it with rest and relaxation, rest and lots of fluids and stuff like that, because it can turn into pneumonia. Like, it can escalate if you aren't giving yourself rest. It's one thing I'm at least smart about. I know as much as I want to work out, it's not smart. Not while I'm sick. Like, I have that kind of, you know, feeling, that nagging feeling. It's like, no, you got to sleep more. You got to make sure you're getting rest. No, you can't go out and do crazy things. And I usually get sick around this time of year, so it's not too uncommon. Usually just doesn't last this long, though. Let's see. That shoulder blade doesn't make sense. Alright. Bring this arm. Bring that there. And coffee's definitely kicking in. Oh, boy. You had pneumonia and bronchitis at the same time as a kid? That's super scary at VOD. Yeah, I know what that's like. Not me physically knowing that that's like. Maybe bronchitis. I don't know if I actually had bronchitis. I might have just had a really bad head cold, but when I looked up bronchitis, like, oh, it can last 2 to 3 weeks. I'm like, head colds usually last 3 days. Yeah, that makes more sense. Why I would have that. Pneumonia is nothing to mess around with. Like, if you feel it's about to catch on, go to a doctor. Get that shit taken care of, because too many people wait too long and then unfortunately they pass away. Happened to like a news reporter for like ESPN. Like, complications happen really fast and it's really scary with pneumonia. And it's treatable, but it's just like, you got to get in there like right away. Like, it's nothing to mess around with. Well, I'm glad you've recovered at VOD, because we are glad to have you here with us. Alright, that palm. Perspective is so hard. I'm teaching my kiddo, one of the kids I tutor, it. And it's just one of those things. I remember asking my friend Chamba, who's really great at perspective, how he does it. And he basically gave me a non-answer, which I don't blame him. Perspective's hard. He's just like, I just have like a camera in my head and I just kind of know how to do those angles. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. Like, he's brilliant. If you look up Jeffrey Cruz, Chamba, his work, he's brilliant. He is so good. He just did a issue called Venom: The End by him and Adam Warren. He fucking nailed it. He did such a good job. I love that guy's work. I'm glad he's finally getting to do work for like Marvel and doing like the big boy stuff. Like, he's been doing comics for a long time. But I'm super happy for him that he got to do that, because I know he loves Marvel vs. Capcom. So for him to get to do Venom, I think was a huge thing for him. I haven't got to talk to him too much about it, but he's always super supportive of my stuff. And we've only met a couple times, but he's been an amazing resource. Of just like constantly like, cool, I can keep going. I can keep doing this. You know, guys like Chamba think my work is good. Like, if those guys think my work is good, obviously my work is great. And, you know, it's great to get admiration from, you know, non-artists as well, because that keeps me going just as much. But there's something about when you have your peers admire you as well. There's something that kind of takes it to another level in some ways. Because you're like, oh shit, that guy thinks I'm good? Fuck. If he thinks I'm good, I must be doing something right. Because he wouldn't be just, you know, baking praise on me and stuff like that. Hope that makes sense. I need to figure out, this sword is not in the right perspective. Let's get that a little bit over. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going bouldering with my brother this weekend, which will be great. I haven't got to see him in person in a while. It's been a couple of weeks. And I like Chris, well, I don't know. Chris feels about the same, but I'm missing my family time. I haven't got to see my parents in a while because I've been sick and I haven't wanted to get them sick. Time I saw my dad was when he helped me because my battery died. So I needed him to come help me out because my battery was dead. And I was like, I have no one else to rely on. And Chris was still sick at the time, so I had to get it taken care of. It was right before I got sick. And it's funny, I got like sick 2 days later or something like that. Something around there. Alright, this giant is definitely in a good place. He's not perfect, but he's definitely feeling it. I'm liking the pose. I'm thinking this needs to be a little bit smaller. Make sure to save that. Take a brief second to drink my coffee. And kind of bring this a little bit smaller to get a little bit more perspective. Let's bring these guys back in. Oh, nope, not that. Oh, there we go. And then let's make these guys red. Let's bring that. Let's punch them back up. I don't need them super visible, but I want them a little bit more visible because I just need to see what they're doing on it. I need to see their silhouettes. I'll typically do this a little bit before I get into the next phase of it, just to kind of get a feeling for some of this stuff. So now I can turn off this, and I can turn back on some of my older layers. Okay. Let's turn this one down a little bit more. I think I need to do Azale's face one more time, one more pass, but then these guys are looking good. Thanks, VOD. Oh, for the longest time I thought people saying to visualize things in your mind was just an expression. Didn't actually think people could actually do it. Apparently I have aphantasia? Aphantasia. I've never looked that up. I don't know what that is. Is that just like the non-ability to visualize something in your head? I mean, I could believe that's I believe that makes sense to me that some people can't do that. Yeah, when I'm sketching stuff, I'm not always verbally saying it out loud like I am right now, but that's what I'm saying right now is literally what my head is thinking. And I will occasionally say something out loud when I'm trying to think of it. It's weird, you know. When we're playing D&D, I see it as a movie. I see it as like an animated film. I see the shots and I can't draw them exactly how I wanted, but shot for shot, like when I am playing Dungeons and Dragons, I literally see it like as an animated movie while we're playing it through the campaign. And I can see my character and how it would act and how it would swing its sword and what it would do. Translating that is difficult. I see it in my head, but taking that idea onto paper is still something that's challenging. I think that's why I'm so drawn to art, is because I see everything visually in terms of animation when I think of storytelling. I know what I want to see. I know how I would do it. I just have to keep getting that ability to do it, to see it, to write it, to draw it, to illustrate it, and bring it to that level that I want it to. That's the challenge. That's the hard part about it, is, you know, getting the skill. And I'm super close now. I'm definitely at the point now where I can draw what I want to draw. It's all just about in terms of execution and style at this point. There's still some perspective things, but I can draw any background now. I want to get better at it, but I can draw it. I can do it. There's better techniques I can do. There's better ways I can illustrate things. There's better ways to get it to the level of appreciation that I want it to, but I definitely am at the point now where if I think it, I can do it. It may not be exactly what I think. It may not be perfect, but it will definitely be closer than it's ever been before, which is nice. Yeah, drawn to art. Yeah, that was totally on purpose. Yeah. It's That's I think the only regret I'll have in life is there's never enough time to draw, or I'm / too lazy to draw. Like I look at art like this, like the 14 stuff. I love the way how rough this is, but how succinct it is at the same time. Like I look at some of like the other professional artists, even if they're younger than me or older than me, it doesn't matter. Like I look at some of the ways like they draw this stuff. I'm like, oh man, this is really great. There's always new techniques I want to get better at. And not that I want to draw like these guys, but there's definitely elements of the way that they draw that I'm trying to bring into my own art that I'm thinking about when I'm doing stuff. Not so much these 3D models, but definitely those illustration stuff. There's new things I want to capture, new things I want to do, new ways cinematically I want to obtain what I want to do. Like I definitely have a lot of ideas. That short film's definitely going to happen this year. After I finish this next big project, I'll probably start working on that, honestly. But I'm consumed with that, and then once I get healthy again, it'll be fun to get back into working out and then doing that. Yeah, I'll be on my deathbed and be like, damn it, one more illustration. Come on, God, let me add it. Yeah, there's always something new. There's always some new avenue that I want to explore or get better at. Like I'm gonna work on gouache painting this year, and even though it's only a month has gone by, I can feel like, come on, Sam, let's go. You're slacking here. I think the bummer about this sickness is it slowed me down a little bit. I'm like, I know I'm still doing art, but I wanna do more. I wanna get in there. I am never fully satiated, and that is my problem. All right, let's get this bad boy's eyes in. This will probably be one of the probably last things we do for this art stream before we take a break. Got other stuff I got to do, and then we'll probably be back later this week to do some more stuff. I just want to finish some more sketching. Get this in. Like I wasn't 100% happy with this face from last time. Definitely want to keep these a little bit shorter for sure than before. At 4 hours, like I said. A little too much. Yeah, I'm liking this already better. I'm liking this face a little bit more. Let's see, he's got some eye markings. Got some little face scratches. You know, it's funny, his eye is going to be covered, but I need to illustrate it because otherwise I think it's going to get too lost. Alright, let's bring that up a little bit. It's looking good. Get his ears in. Makote ears are weird. Freaking cat boys. What are you gonna do? Yeah, I like that. I like this face a little bit better. A little bit more than the last one. But yeah, for those of you this is the first time you've seen the art stream, this is the nitty gritty of it, especially when it's like this detail of an illustration. It's a lot of going back and forth, and just kind of refinement phases. Like this, I thought I was good last time, but you know, looking at it, I usually need a little bit more work, especially with my kind of newer inking style. In terms of it to get some of these ones. Yeah, that's definitely more That's definitely more in line of what I wanted. His hair's still not perfect. His hair is still definitely something I'm having trouble with. It's got that weird, like, Noctis look going on. Like, I guess I should bring it back the other way. Yeah, I think he has the Noctis hair in here. Alright. Let's... Yeah, let's bring it like this. Yeah, that's more like it. It's still different than how the Noctis hair looks, but it's got that energy to it. It's got that flow to it that I want to see from that art. One of the biggest things with these type of illustrations, especially when it's commissioned, like, it's not about being 100% accurate to the character, though that's something you want to do. I think the biggest thing is getting the feel for that character, making that character feel like they're a badass. You know, it has to look like their character, obviously, but artistic liberties are, you know, important for these kind of things because you have to elevate that 3D model to that next level. Like, the ferocity of that character, it's a warrior. You want to really make sure that they're really feeling like all that power behind it. A little bit of rage in there. That inner Chris rage. I think all I need to do is just fix his head for that, though. I don't think... Yeah, I like this face a lot better. Feels a lot more three-dimensional. Feels a lot more in focus. I think I just need to make it, honestly, bigger. And then maybe squish it down a little bit. Yeah. Maybe bring up his torso just ever so slightly. Yeah, just ever so slightly bring this up. And then I think that's good. I'll need to rearrange some parts. But I think, yeah, that's definitely the face I want to go with. It's a bit more ferocious. And that's kind of just one of the things, like when I'm doing these illustrations. Sometimes I'll do that first sketch and be like, okay, it's good. And then kind of get through another one and be like, it just needs a bit more tweaking. Or else, why would you have done by another artist? That makes sense, yeah. Will you do art streams once this piece is finished? Oh, hell yeah, Blue Lip. I'll definitely do other ones. They'll be much smaller, though. They'll be like... They won't be as big as this one. There's still going to be cool illustrations, but there'll be some more personal work. I'm going to use art streams as kind of a way to do my portfolio work as well. I have a children's book illustration thing that I've been wanting to do for a while about a pumpkin kid and some ghosts. So I think that's going to be what's next after I finish this. After I finish this one, they probably won't be super game related. But yeah, there's definitely going to be art streams after this. The art streams is going to be something that's going to be happening a lot. I want to at least try and do 2 a month, for sure. One, I like hanging out with you guys, and then 2, it gives me a reason. It forces me to do art. I'm always doing art, but it'll force me to be like, cool, I've been wanting to do these children illustration things for a bit now anyways. So yeah, let's do it on this. Let's get this done. Like, these concepts will be fun. It'll be something different. It'll be kind of in the vein of Couchlings, where it's a little bit I don't want to say childish, but it's a little bit more it's less gamey, but still gonna be really fun because it's gonna be artistically different than what I normally do, or what you guys normally see of what I do in terms of art. So yeah, there will definitely be way more art streams in the future. This will not be the end. Though this will be the end shortly for this one, though. I'm doing a little bit more, and then, yeah, we're going to call it. But I can't pick it up tomorrow because I'm doing an art night with some buddies. But I'll probably stream a little bit on Saturday. I'll probably do a little bit on Saturday, depending on when me and Chris record. And when I get back home, I might do some art stream on Saturday or Sunday. Probably Sunday or Saturday, depending on when me and Chris are going to record. Because I really want to get this piece done. I really want to get into this piece and really finish it. Because it's really badass. And I'm loving how it's coming out. I just know that I have to do laundry and eat dinner and stuff like that. So that's why I need to eventually stop for tonight. This is good. That's great. That's great. The Garlean guards are great. I'll be able to do the inking like I did for this guy next. Same with like Azale. I'll probably save him for last. But I'll do the Magitek next. Then this guy. Then those people. Then do Azale's big thing. But yeah. I think that's I think pose wise, I think everything minus the background is pretty much there. I might have to do some background work next time and kind of succinct that. But other than that, yeah, this is it's pretty much there. This is gonna go much quicker at this point. For sure, it'll be more like the Jack and Daxter one. Let me think on this boy's perspective. I think I might need to move that up a little bit. Bring that out. One of the cool things about this being almost a bit more separated is it is, because there's been so much time in between, I'm actually improving as an artist even in between these streams. And I'm thinking of new ways, and while I'm tutoring my kiddo, it's forcing me to reevaluate how even I draw, because when you're teaching, you have to take the concepts and then break them down to a simpler format for that individual. So you have to know it inside and out. And I was teaching him some anatomy stuff, and I know my anatomy, but I was watching a video the other day by another YouTuber that was breaking down some of the artists that I really like. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. And just the way he was talking about using diamond shapes and the way, like, drawing characters, I'm like, oh yeah, of course they do it this way. That totally makes sense. And so now, as I've been doing that, I've been implementing more and more of that stuff into my art. So it's kind of crazy. Like, even in the short time that I've been away from this piece, I've picked up some new tricks for my own art, which is rad. I should be able to take the majority of this stuff and just kind of rearrange it. I think that's one thing why I think breaks are so important. Just in anything that you do, it's too easy to get caught up in what you're doing and not realize that too many artists get stuck and get in ruts, and they get upset because they don't take enough breaks, and then they get burnt out. Burnout's a huge deal in the art community, and I've luckily managed to avoid it, and I think the biggest reason is just because I am so good about being lazy. And like taking long hiatus, not long, super long hiatuses, but hiatuses with my drawing. And when I say long, I mean like a couple of hours or a day or two. And I think those days in between end up adding up a lot over time, to the point of where it really makes a difference. Because I see every other time I'm on Twitter, there's some artist saying like, oh yeah, I'm taking a break for like 3 months. I can't even imagine not drawing for 3 months. I don't think I'm physically capable. If I don't draw after like 2 days, I start to feel funky. I'm like, nothing. This doesn't sound right. This doesn't feel right. I need to express myself. I need to do some art. Even if it's just a little sketch or something, or a little animation, I have to do something. Yeah, this looks better for Azale. This is much more ferocious. This is much more what I'm looking for. It was already good before. It wasn't bad, but that time away has definitely helped improve this. I like this way more than I had from before. Hell yeah. This is working out great. This is exactly Exactly why I do this. Now, I'm still going to have to figure out something with his axe. I think some of it will still be hidden with this giant. I might have to move that giant around, honestly. I might need to make him a little bit smaller. Or I might need to move him... I think I might move him here. I want him to still be in frame. But I want to avoid any tangents. And I still want to get good cut of him. I think that's it. I think that's solid. I think that's... I think that is good in terms of Azael's pose and face. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that in inking. Oh, sorry, I'm looking. If I get the commission in the future, would you consider doing that on stream? If you want Valentire, sure. It'll just make it take longer. But if you want it on stream, I'd be happy with doing that. Yeah, just, yeah. I'd be more than happy with doing it on stream. It'll depend on what I'm working on. Oh, I gotta uncombine that. Oh no, I did not combine that. Let's stick this out. But yeah, if you're okay with it being on stream, I have no problem with doing that. I'd be more than happy to do that one on stream. I got a couple of commissions I know in the pipeline. I know I have a big one coming up, but I will not be doing that one on stream. I got another huge commission that's in the works. And you guys will eventually see it. I might record it and do it as a speed paint as well, but that one's gonna be intense. That's gonna be another, like, that's gonna be like a 17-hour one, so I'll probably just have to jam on that in and out. I won't be able to parse that one out. All right. Let me clean some of this up. I need to take out, let's turn that off. I want to get rid of some of these hidden assets. Turn that off. Not that. Turn off Azael. No, I want the background. I want that. Let's see, is there other hidden things I can get? I want to kind of get back to the background stuff. I guess some of that's blended into the background. Let's see. Foreground. No, those are my inks. I don't need that on. I don't need that on. Let's see what else. Because I know I sketched more of the background. Oh yeah, I can see more of it now. I gotta figure out where some of that stuff is. No, keep that. Keep that. Where are you? This? Yeah, I don't need this. Oh. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. What about this? I need some of this. Let's make this into a mask. Let's take this as a mask, and let me go ahead and erase some of it, because I still want some of that. Put this right here. Yeah, let's turn that into a mask as well, because that's more concise. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, now I can start. Now I can see more of that background work. Some of it's still hidden though. Oof. Okay, where is that in the background? Oh, there we go. Let's bring this. Yeah, let's bring that up a little bit more. Okay, okay. Still messy, but I can see more of the background now. That's good. I might do. Let me think. Close that. Pull this. Bring that over. I want Icy Tundra. I know I had kind of that going on Bring that up. That stuff is still good. Some more foreground stuff. He's flying through the air. More rocks, more snow. More snow. Some broken off stuff. Broken off weaponry. Some arrows maybe in the ground. I definitely had some mountains. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Those mountains going up a little bit higher. Yeah, probably be some more background work next time. Oh, so what's a mask? Yeah, a mask is basically just like a little extra layer you can add onto these things. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. It makes it easier to erase things without actually erasing them. So basically it's like it hides stuff, it'll mask that away, but it won't delete it. So you can unmask it later, like it could use the white or the black later and kind of bring it back. It's not fully deleted, unlike actually erasing it. So it's kind of like a nice in-between. I do that a lot with couchling stuff too. If I'm working on an illustration, it's super useful, especially with 2D illustration stuff. I'm glad you like the speed paint, Valentara. Yeah, I'd totally be happy to do that once you commission me. I'll make sure that one is live streamed then, while I'm working on that process. Only reason I don't do it for the couchlings is just, I said it last time, I probably said it on this stream a couple times, is just it's too much of a speed mode. I'm trying to get it done and do it well and look at reference and just get in there and get it done in an efficient manner. So that, like, I usually just shoot them out in about 2 hours. So I have to be in a groove and I have to record it, so it'd be too taxing on my PC otherwise. But that's been this stream. I think we're gonna call it here. I could definitely keep on going, but I know I gotta take care of other things. So thank you for coming, Ed Vodi. Do you think if I hit you up sometimes with my emails about ideas? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, if you want to hit me up with ideas, Valentar, about the commission, no problem. I might not get back right away, but I will get back within like a day or two. So if you have ideas and you want to kind of shoot them back and forth, I'd be more than happy to hear them out and see what we can kind of come up with for the final thing. But yeah, let's call that for the illustration for today. Keep it a nice 2 hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes. And, you know, we'll be back next time, probably Sunday. Definitely this weekend. I'm definitely going to get back to it this weekend. I will hit you guys up. I'll let you know on the Discord when it's going to happen. And yeah, we'll catch you guys all later. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here with me. It's been awesome. Hope you guys have a good night. I will catch you guys all later. See ya. Beep, bop, boop.